on, ladies and gentlemen? I am here. I'm back. I wanted to have a conversation about Black Ops 6. It's a hot button issue. It's a hot one in the community, and I'm a zombies player. I know I've pretty much only uploaded Borderlands and like one League of Legends video on this channel, but I'm an avid zombies player. I've been doing high rounds on pretty much every single map from World at War to Black Ops 3. I stopped playing after Black Ops 3. I didn't really like the Call of Duty games. Zombies wasn't that enjoyable to me. I tried out Cold War, but I found it just easy, like super boring, super easy, and monotonous. Um, and then I came back and tried zombies again once Cold War was done, and I was like, some of these maps um, but I haven't really gotten into zombies since I guess now recently with the launch of Black Ops 6. So I wanted to talk about it because it is something that I've seen a lot of topics and a lot of people talk about, and a lot of people not lying, but just straight up like refusing to uh, understand, I guess, what the game is now, and also understanding that you don't have to interact with all of the systems in the game. Like, I know they're there and like it makes the game easier and blah blah blah, but you don't. The point of them being there is not that you have to use them; it's that you can use them, and giving the player options. And I think that with Black Ops 6, people are so frustrated with the fact that it is a direct sequel to Cold War, which no shit, it's gonna be a direct sequel to Cold War. It's literally Cold War 2. But people are refusing to accept that they actually have done something pretty decent with the Cold War systems and with the new maps, and also just like refuse to just acknowledge that you can turn them off. So I want to talk about the maps, and then I'll talk about the complaints that people were kind of bitching about that are really frustrating me as someone who's like on the outside, just kind of like watching all this shit. And I'm gonna kind of glaze the game a little bit, but I do have some issues, some things that I would like changed, and I just want to talk about it because it's something that I've been thoroughly enjoying. I've put a good, probably like 13 hours, 14 hours, maybe more, into zombies. I've highest round is like 45 right now. I can't, something I'll talk about later, but I'm just struggling with the high rounds right now. It's super difficult. But I'm loving it. I love the way that the game feels. I love the systems for that Cold War that were really frustrating to me that they've kind of fixed and worked through. And some of the systems that are there, while they might be annoying, I've just chosen not to interact with them, and it actually has benefited my experience. So I want to get on all of that, but I also want to talk about the maps because I think the shit talk of Liberty Falls before it came out, well, part of it was justified because at a glance it is a scary looking map for the future of zombies. In practice, it is actually a fantastic fun map. I have more fun playing Liberty Falls than I ever did playing Town. So I don't understand, I guess, the dislike of Liberty Falls. And I want to talk about Terminus because I do genuinely think that Terminus is a fantastic map. I think that it is a great series addition, and I think that for the terms of the new realism aspect of zombies that they're taking instead of the fantasy aspect of zombies that they're taking, that Terminus is a perfect culmination of all of that. So I guess let's start with Liberty Falls. I like it. I think it's great. I think that it has some issues. There is a lot of it that could be maybe more run down, I guess, or I kind of like I think I would have, to give the map more life, I would have liked a terminus aspect to it, so where you're logging into the map and maybe that there's still people there and that kind of stuff. And they kind of have that with the zombies stuck in cars or underneath vehicles, or to get to the jet gun room the zombies bust out the door. I love that. The atmosphere for that is really, really nice. It does show as a town that is completely like freshly run over by zombies in the outbreak. I wish that there was more, just like identity to it, other than it feeling like just a city. But the flow of it is super, super fluid. You can open up any part of the map, and for the most part, you won't be punished for it. If you're playing with a group of 2, 3, or 4, you have plenty of spots to train. You have plenty of spots to run around and really group up zombies. and really have fun. Everybody can get the access to wonder weapons and all of the weapon systems with the new rarities and stuff like that. While it can be a hindrance, I think, for the Easter egg steps, especially when you need like a gold tier weapon to do some of the damage for Terminus, or for even to survive in some of the end stages of the Liberty Falls Easter egg. I think that having that option for people who are just casually playing the game is really nice, because that means you can use whatever you want for as long as you want, and it's just about going in, killing zombies, and having fun. And I think that's great. I think Liberty Falls does that so well, and the jet gun being on that map is, it is so peak to me. I love the concept of the jet gun on Transit. I used to play Transit a lot in Black Ops 2 for that reason. I used to think that, yeah, I don't like the map, but the concept for what they were trying to do was really, really cool. So to see that the jet gun was now put into a different map, and not just ripped from the game and put into a different map, but built on, and not built on, but turned into a fucking monster, is so nice to see. The jet gun is a beautiful goddamn wonder weapon, and it definitely now adds up to the tiers of some of the other weapons. In my opinion, it's one of my favorite wonder weapons I've used in a very long time. It has got a lot of really, really cool features to it, with the secondary fire and the napalm burst, and just the fact that you can shred armor and all that kind of shit with it. It's awesome. I think it is a fantastic wonder weapon. And I think that the steps and all of the little mini Easter eggs on there are great too. The Easter egg is super fun for Liberty Falls. It is simple. It is just, go here, do this, go here, do this, build this thing, grab these things, survive 3 rounds, you're done. But the survival ending of it is extremely difficult. There's a lot of stuff that they throw at you, and it's a really tight room. And when you have 3 people in there, did it the first time with 2 people, and we had to actually plan out our gobblegums and stuff like that and really think about what we were going into. I was expecting it to be easy. I was like, okay, the rest of this Easter egg was super easy. This is probably not going to be that bad. And I got in there, and we got fucking rolled. It took us forever to figure it out, or to really figure out a strategy that worked for us, and a build and all that kind of stuff. And once we got in there and we got it done, it was so satisfying to get it done. And I love the fact that you get the ray gun as a skin for it, as a Easter egg step thing, or for completing it. I think that should be a thing that they keep permanently. Like, they should just keep adding that for almost every single map. Just give us cool skins for the ray gun and for the wonder weapons for the other maps that are based off of maybe the Easter egg, or just for fun. I think that was so cool, and it adds such an incentive for players to do the Easter egg, because before it was just to do the Easter egg to say you did it. And in Black Ops 3 they kind of added like the RK5 and that kind of stuff, so it was like, oh, there's super Easter egg steps, and if you do the super Easter egg you can get an easier start to your game. But if you didn't care, you had no incentive to go do all that. But a skin, while it's kind of stupid, is for some reason a huge incentive for people to go do things. It's something super unique, something that, if you only do this you can get that. It'll be a limited, like, not a limited time item, but a select few people will have it who want to go through the effort to do that. So I think that is a fantastic addition, and especially when the Easter eggs start to get harder and harder, which I hope they do, that the incentive and the eliteness to having those skins is going to feel great to some people, and it's going to add a real drive for people to play this game. So I think that was fantastic. Overall, I really do love Liberty Falls. It's not game-changing, but it is super fun, and I definitely would rate it probably around like a 7.5 out of 10. I think that it is a map that I will come back to just to play for fun. And I really think that if you haven't checked out zombies yet and you're playing Black Ops 6, you really should. And especially on Liberty Falls, because it's the most, inclusive, easiest experience for all players to get into and just have some fun. But with that, I want to talk about Terminus. This map is the opposite of Liberty Falls. It's hard, it's difficult, it's grueling. That's a little extreme. It's not grueling in the sense of like the world's hardest map. I would say there's some maps in the older games that are definitely maybe harder than this, at least in terms of starting and getting going. But the map itself and the enemies that they're there and all that kind of stuff, they are super difficult. Once you're starting to get to later rounds, you are getting bombarded by special enemies, zombies, boss enemies, all these types of stuff, and it is insane on how much shit you have to try to mitigate. But if you can do it, it feels really nice, and all of the stuff on your screen looks really cool. I give Treyarch mad props on the map design. I think that the eerie, swampy island is super, super cool. And I like the fact that you can go on a boat and you can kind of travel on the outside parts, and there's wrecked ships and different islands, and there's, a tentacle monster that follows you with the smoke. It's just all super cool, and that is the atmosphere that a lot of people wanted back into Zombies, and I think that they killed it on this map. I think that they show that the realistic aspect of the map, like with the base getting run over as you're coming in, but then they also add some of that fantasy aspect that we always love from Zombies, but they keep a perfect balance in my opinion, and I think that for the new era of Zombies, this is a good, hey, here's where maybe we could go. So if they keep building off of like this stuff, I think it's great. And on top of that, the special zombies, I love the vermin. I think they're super cool. The animations of them coming out of the zombie's body, the way that you can just kind of like find them crawling around on the ceilings and shit like that are super cool. I love the new designs for the parasites. I think that while it's just the same thing we had in Black Ops 3, seeing that they had a visual update and they're not just ripped straight from the game is super nice, and they look super clean. The manglers are a little insane in Black Ops 6 on both Liberty Falls and Terminus. You kind of get overwhelmed by them, especially in the later rounds, and I haven't really found a good way to deal with them other than using a mutant injection and kind of just beating the shit out of them. But they're an imposition for sure. They hurt, they can knock over the horde and ruin the flow of your train. They're super, super difficult to deal with, and the amalgam that spawns, which is a massive this body horror monster, and it can like grab you and pull you into the horde, and you got manglers shooting you at you at the same time. It gets insane on the later rounds. I think that the game overall would probably benefit from toning down the boss spawns just a little bit. Give me like 4 manglers around. If not, give me like a round where you give me that mass insane mangler spawn, but do it like every 3 rounds or every 2 rounds instead of every round. I think that would add a better flow, so you just have a little bit of a breathing room as you're going throughout the game. But I love the difficulty that it's at. I think that map specifically adds a lot of stress and high stress areas, and you can mess up really quickly, but once you get a good flow going for the map, it feels fantastic, and all the stuff on your screen looks really cool, and the wonder weapon is awesome. I love the slow feature of it, that it does the increased damage. The beam, while it's not super impressive, just the whole design of the weapon, and when you run out of ammo, the Nova Blast, I love it. I think that it is a super cool wonder weapon, and while it's not game changing, it is definitely interesting and a very unique wonder weapon, and I think that I wouldn't mind seeing more weapons that are maybe not the most busted thing in the world, but have these very unique designs and very unique interactions and stuff like that. I think that's super cool. It's just an upgraded paralyzer, and I love that about it. The Easter egg on Terminus is insanely fun too. The setup for these Easter eggs are kind of easy and meh. They're not like super engaging, I would say, but the ending is definitely worth getting to, and they don't take too long to set up, so I definitely recommend doing them, because the boss fight on Terminus, I haven't completed it yet as of recording this. I'm gonna do another attempt tonight and try to really fucking hammer it down and try to get it done, but it is a brutal boss fight. There's a lot of shit thrown at you. There's so many boss enemies thrown at you. The boss does so much damage to you. The arena that you're in is insane, and while I'm talking about this, I'll try to put footage of it from my run tonight to like show you. It is a insane boss arena. It makes me so happy. It reminds me a lot of Gorod Krovi and stuff like that, where you just have, it's just hell, and you have this big arena to run around and try to figure it out and try to do what you can, and you just have this fucking huge thing that is menacing in the background, that's got a bunch of shit that it can spawn while there's zombies, while there's boss enemies. It is so much fun, and if they continue this style of Easter egg in the future, I think that this is going to be a game to remember and not one to throw in the back, just like Cold War was. I would definitely say I'd rate Terminus probably like a 8.5. I honestly really, really love it. It stands the test of time to me. It's a map that I probably will be very interested in coming back to play if maybe zombies become stagnant again and stuff like that, because I just think it's fun. I do genuinely love just everything about that map. Some complaints that I've heard around the community is the HUD. You don't have to interact with the HUD. I don't like the medals. I don't like the score coming up, all that kind of stuff. I've turned it all off. My game's great. I love it. I think that you can just turn that off and you'll be fine. And, just go to the settings, hit the interface, gameplay HUD. There's opacities at the bottom. Just turn that shit down. You can make the game look as nice as you want. I've turned my mini-map off. It's been beautiful, the customization for the HUD. people's complaints about the weapon upgrade system too is kind of annoying. You don't have to interact with that system, and people feel like they have to maybe get the Easter egg done as fast as possible and that kind of stuff. And that is because they're in a select group of people who are like really feeling like they have to get all that content out and they really got to get it done and done and done. But if you wanted to take your time and just hit the box for the weapons, or maybe wait for the rounds to change and grab upgraded weapons off the wall, while I'm not in love with the weapon rarity system for just trying to get set up sometimes, it is really nice when you're trying to play with your friends and maybe some people can't get the wonder weapon and stuff like that, so they can have that high round aspect. So I liked that the option is there. And if you don't like it, you don't have to use it. You just literally don't have to interact with it at all. You don't have to use the arsenal machine to upgrade your weapon rarity. You can spin the box for different weapons every single time you run out of ammo, or you want to change up your build or anything like that. You can buy different wall weapons, because I know they switch with perks and that kind of stuff. So definitely just don't interact with that system, and you can probably have a lot more enjoyable experience. I've made my loadout when I'm just playing casually to just be starting pistol, like it is in, the old days, and just make sure my stuff's very minimum, and I just go in and I try to have a lot of fun, and I think that is a very good way to go about it. Instead of forcing yourself to interact with everything because it's there, just don't interact with the things that bother you, and let those things that are maybe for the more casual audience be there, because the experience of the game, in my opinion, is not diminished because those things are there. If you don't interact with them, the game is just as fun as if you do interact with them. So I don't think you need to. I think that this version of Zombies is very much for everyone, in the sense of what you want to do, you can do. So if you want to have those weapons and you want to get set up really fast and stuff like that, that option's there. The arsenal's there, Pack-a-Punch is there, all these gobblegums are there. If you don't want to deal with that, you don't have to. You can take it slow. You can build the way you want to. You can hit the box a bunch of times. You can, adjust those things. And I think that while it is not something everyone is maybe fully even used to yet, I think it's something that isn't a net negative to the game, and maybe having easier ways for people to interact with that, or maybe even straight out disable it, would be good in the future. But the whining and the aggression that I've seen towards that system, I just don't get it. I think it's unnecessary, and that's about it. Little adding on the end here, I love the new augment system too. I think upgrading your augments and your field upgrades and the combinations of perks and all this kind of stuff, super fun, and I'm really excited to get all of those unlocked and really trying to build them. I need to level up Melee Macchiato, because I don't really know if it's a good perk, and I feel like that's one that you kind of have to get augments to cook. But the XP system in Black Ops 6 is kind of slow, especially for all that kind of stuff, so it's taken me a while to get all these augments, even with as much as I'm playing the game. I'm almost prestige, but I can't. I've got like 3 augments, maybe with like 4 or 5 done. So it's just taking a while to unlock and experience everything, but I overall think that Black Ops 6 is a very good game, and I think that if you're a fan of zombies and you're a fan of that style, or you're looking for something fun and you already play Call of Duty, you should really check this game out. And I hope that there could be some more constructive conversations around Black Ops 6, instead of just aggression because of the Cold War systems and then glazing because it's cool. I think the game is in a very good state, and I think that maybe there's some Cold War systems that could be straight up abolished and changed, and I think that that they're there is not the worst thing in the world. I think that you can, like I said, entirely ignore those systems for the most part, other than like the salvage and stuff like that, which you really can. You don't have to interact with that if you don't want to. You can ignore those systems and still have a very enjoyable experience in this game. So yeah, I don't know. That's all I got. I didn't really know how to end this. I just kind of lose my train of thought there, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what your guys' comments are, like what you guys' opinions and feelings are on Black Ops 6. Make sure you guys, like and comment and do all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I just want to, if you guys want to have a dialogue and stuff like that, I will definitely be responding to comments of people who want to say things. I'm just very curious what's going on, what's people's take. That's my opinion on Black Ops 6, on the maps and stuff like that. Kind of just a little rant, a little ramble. Yeah, I hope you guys have a good night. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.